Hello there. This is Angel Gabby, or Steph, and I am really excited that you guys are here and you're gonna get to see us. Why is the game so small? Oh no, let me make that bigger. Um, and that you're gonna get to see us playing the Angel Hare Activity Center today. I am joined by two very special guests, Hannah and Rachel. And
Hello.
you want to say hi real quick while I figure out why my game just decided to resize itself?
Hi.
Hi.
Can people hear us? Are we heard?
Are they heard?
It'll be great because we're twins and sound super similar, so this won't be confusing at all.
Yeah,
It's super easy. Here, this is Hannah's voice. Hello, I'm Hannah.
And this is Rachel's voice. Hello, I'm Rachel.
we did have, I was trying my bestest to set up I don't know why this isn't resizing, a Discord overlay to show who's talking and when. Oh, there we go. Got some progress there. But that somehow failed miserably, and I don't know why it's broken. So, anyway, hello everybody. So this is super informal because we are not very formal people, and we're not. I'm not a very active streamer either. So this is kind of also a little bit of a newer experience for me. And thank you so much for the follow and everybody who has followed before. So we're gonna play the learning adventure uploaded from CD-ROM. Hannah was awesome, or Rachel was awesome, and found it in their cereal box, and they uploaded it. So all things considered, quality looks pretty good for a hasty upload. And we're gonna play this, and then we'll answer questions along the way, and then maybe even have like a more formal like Q&A segment at the end. All right,
Ooh,
So fun. So professional.
so professional. That's not true. Anyway, all right, let's get right to it. Hopefully volumes are good. Peak wholesome creators. I agree with that 100%. All right.
If you see your name in the book, click on it to continue your learning adventure. If you don't see your name, type it at the bottom and click on the arrow to continue.
There are no names in this book. All right, what is my name? Steph.
Welcome back, Jonah. It's always good to see you.
Hey, Alex. I love how it just automatically defaults to Jonah. I think it's funny watching other people's Let's Plays and they're so confused by that little bit. Like, what?
Well, as a fun fact, our original plan was to program it so as you typed, it filled in Jonah, but we didn't quite have time to figure that out.
That would probably be pretty sophisticated coding. Yeah. I would not want to be your programmer for having to do that.
Also, we had a month to make it because it was for a jam. If nobody knew that, so it's like we can't do all the little polish. We need all the game parts to work first.
That's
But yeah,
true.
it's funny when people who don't know like the story and the lore are like, "Who's Jonah?"
Yeah. Which, by the way, guys, does this work? I don't know. It's not working. Well, Nightbot should be here to assist, to post the link, because for some reason my Streamlabs doesn't recognize me as like a active participant in my own chat.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I'll post that at the end too. Let me try it this way. Bear with me, folks. But yeah, this is part of the Spooktober. Is that what it's called? The Spooktober Game Jam, which is among a lot of really cool games. I know Jet also has a game that's in here.
Yeah.
Jet is a very cool other VA and all-around talented person for anyone who doesn't know.
I think they wrote and directed part of the great game they're in too.
They did, yeah. They wrote it, they directed it, they did pretty much everything for it. Here's the... Okay. I don't know why you want me to log into my own chat. I'll post it at the end if Nightbot doesn't. But yeah, they did the writing, they did the directing, they did, I think, also some voice acting in it, and then slept for like an entire day after it was released because I think they were up for like a really long time. Anyway, but there is a question in the chat, ladies. So
Well, I don't know if we wanted to answer those after the game or not. It's whatever. It's your call. We can.
let's answer a couple of them right now. Just because they're here. And it's relevant. So regarding the name Jonah, did you guys have any other names that you had in mind, or was it like always Jonah from the start?
I believe it either was always Jonah or it was very quickly Jonah because it was it was the thought process was mostly just what's like a nice, sturdy, old-fashioned Christian name.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and it's got like, nice what's the word I'm looking here for her? Like, it's a nice biblical allusion too, so.
Yeah, there's some other things
Jonah.
that conveniently lined up for other themes, and also it has nice soft syllables. So when Gabby sweetly says it, it sounds very like wholesome and nice, as opposed to like I don't know,
Hello,
like
Jonah.
what's like a violent sounding name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Malachi maybe, or
Yeah, something just with-
Stephanie's a very harsh sounding name. Like, I can't say like, hello, Stephanie. That just sounds really awkward. Jonah rolls off the tongue very, very well.
Yeah.
All right. Will there be Easter eggs or hidden things shown? If I can find them. We'll see. All right, let's get started.
we
Okay,
can help with that too. If
you can help
want.
that? All right, yeah. If there's an Easter egg that I don't know about, point it out, and I'll like click on stuff ridiculously to get it to work. Okay.
You've picked a wonderful time to visit the forest.
We have.
A hot air balloon has stopped by, and it's so much fun to fly through the clouds. But before you can ride, you've got to collect 3 tickets.
3 tickets. Got it, Gabby.
Luckily, you can get them by playing games with your forest friends. There's lots to do.
Is lots to do. I never noticed you can actually see the mallet there too.
It looks like Francis has gotten himself into trouble. Silly Francis. You better go there first to see if you can help.
Silly Francis is always getting into trouble with his Easter eggs and just his general behavior.
He's been a very fun character to play with.
I love Francis. It's hard because I do love Gabby because I voice Gabby, but I also really, really love Francis and Zag too. So it's like a 3-way tie for favorite character. Hey, question for you too. Was Gabby's design or voice finalized first? Design, correct? Because I kind of remember seeing it on the casting call and you already had the art for it.
We always like to have character art finished for casting calls because it can really help voice actors inform their decision for the performance a lot of the time. Like if you have a really squared off, gruff looking character, it can make you voice it different than if it's like a very like rounded, friendly guy. If it's just supposed to be like grandpa who's a blacksmith, like there's a lot of ways to do that. And if he looks scary versus friendly, that changes a lot. So we always try to have all of that done before we even listen to voice auditions.
And it's just a nice qualifier because working with voice actors is the fun part. So if we make ourselves get to that stage in pre-production, it kind of, gets us motivated to get through the grind of designing assets beforehand like we should.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, because as a voice actor, I know a lot of times the artwork helps a lot with getting the voice down. You see certain character traits like, okay, this person looks kind of nerdy. Maybe they have a bit of a nasally voice, or this person has an overbite, so maybe they have like a little bit of a lisp or stuff like that. So yeah, it does help. And I would be really curious to hear at some point tonight, like kind of the evolution of the Angel Gabby art, because I know you guys had initial concept art, initial designs, and then that kind of evolved, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I do want to hear about that. I do see there's more questions in the chat right now. Let's get through like the first game, and then we'll pause, and then we'll answer a couple questions, just so we're kind of have some sort of, seamless experience, even though it's impossible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Francis has gotten himself into trouble. Silly Francis. Okay.
When you're done, the stream has been growing some interesting flora that could use some investigating.
Oh, should we tell about continuing to
The
click
last stop
Gabby?
is my house.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun to go cloud watching when you live in one.
I kind of heard so click on Gabby. Keep clicking on Gabby.
Yes. Once you're told, you can just click Francis's spot, keep clicking
you've
her,
collected all 3
and just
tickets,
kind of go
you can
through
go
some
for a
of the
ride in the hot
loops.
air balloon.
Okay.
Do you have any questions before beginning?
Okay, and I'll go through all the options here. Why do you keep calling me Jonah?
Because that's your name, silly. You're so funny sometimes. Are there any other questions
I can help you with? Who's Francis?
Oh, he's one of our friends. He always seems to find himself in some kind of trouble, so it's up to us to help him when we can. Are there any other questions I can help you with?
Who are you?
I'm your guardian angel, Gabriel, but you can call me Angel Gabby.
Okay.
I promise I'll always be here to help you, Jonah, no matter what.
No matter what.
Are there any other questions I can
I have
help you
one
with?
more question. Oh, I'm ready to begin. Do I click this before I start clicking on her?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. We better go check on Francis first, Jonah. Who knows how much trouble he's gotten into. We better go check on Francis first, Jonah. I know it seems like a lot.
Oh, there we go.
But I know you'll have fun if you give it a try. I know
I
it
think you
seems
can
like a
keep
lot.
going too.
It'll be okay. I promise. And you know that I keep my promises. It'll be okay. I promise.
Is it
It'll be
randomized?
Okay. I promise. It'll be okay.
I don't think so.
I promise. It'll be okay.
There's an end point.
I promise.
Is this the
And
last
you
one?
know that I keep my promises. Are you still nervous?
Oh, there we go.
That's
yeah.
okay. I can take you there. But you'll need to help Francis on your own, okay? Are you still nervous? Are you still nervous?
Oh.
Oh my. Did Gabby send you to help me out?
Ta-da! Technically
Ta-da.
an Easter egg.
Yeah. I do see lots of comments in the chat. Let me just get through this Francis game first, and then we'll pause and we'll review. That
So
sounded so
again.
strange. And then we'll review. We'll review. All right. Oh my. Did Gabby send you to help me out? How can I help?
Oh, it's so dreadful. You see, demon hairs keep popping up everywhere. If we don't stop them soon, I fear they'll overrun the whole forest.
As you see, the demon hairs everywhere. Just completely covered with demon hairs.
I heard you're collecting tickets for that hot air balloon. Well, I just so happen to have a ticket right here, and I'm supposed to give it to whoever can help me whack these bothersome demon hairs.
Now, was that last part, was that in the script, or did he improvise that?
Everything should have been in the script for this.
Okay. Oh, okay. I guess I just read the voice line before I saw this. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple spots where if it were a longer line, it kind of does half and half, but separate. Weird.
If you click on that mallet, you can use it to whack any demon hair you see.
Whack-a-mole time. Whack-a-demon hair time.
Remember though, demon hairs aren't always as obvious as a rabbit with horns. Sometimes they're subtle, so try to keep an eye out.
I'm so happy demon hairs became canon.
For anyone who doesn't know, little lore hot tip,
Yeah.
demon hares were first
Oh,
mentioned because of a
those
question
tricky,
that Steph
tricky demon
submitted
hairs.
for the first ever Letters with Francis. That was their birthplace.
Yeah, true. So back before obviously Angel Hair took off like it did. And we did have a lot of fans from the start too. Like we had a lot of really devoted people, but we didn't have a lot of people writing letters. So I was just like, I'll write a letter. This is really stupid. And then it got introduced in the letters segment, and then since then it's just kind of become part of Angel Hair lore, and it's kind of now, and you're welcome for that. All right,
There, some folks are asking you to whack
I know
Francis.
they're around here. Yeah. How about I just let
that's so mean. Poor Francis. Well, I whacked him, and it didn't. Was it supposed to do something?
I think
If
it
I-
may have timed out to his
Oh,
audio if you wait, but that's
Well,
that's
what-
okay. Being nice to Francis is not a bad thing.
what did it say? What does it say?
It's something along the lines of like, hold on there, friend. And then it sort of goes on to the normal thing.
Isn't that cheating?
cheating? No. I don't think it's very helpful to think of it like that.
Most of the Easter eggs are just different ways to the same
We're
path.
just
We wanted
Okay.
to keep
in a little.
things simple
There's
and
nothing
manageable
wrong with
for a
that.
1 month
So-
game.
Truth.
For those who don't know, this is not the first game Steph has helped us with. She's a character in our
Congratulations on
game from
receiving your
last
first
year's
gift.
game jam, Crowing, which you can find in our YouTube videos.
Yes.
And it had a lot of different options and paths and fun stuff. But I'm not sure we ever got the endings to not be a little bit broken.
Yeah, it's a much bigger game, so there's plenty of more bugs, but there's a lot of nice art and performances in
Oh
it.
yeah.
There's a lot of really nice art in that. I love the way it looks too. The really sharp contrasts and such, and just like everything being in like shades of like black and gray and white. It's beautifully done.
Thank you.
I mean,
we
the girl you have playing the owl is like that was a poor casting choice. She's horrible. But the rest of it was great.
She's a terrible owl. She makes a better bunny.
See you later.
He's a better bunny.
And remember, this is
All
our
right,
little secret.
we're done the game, so we got our ticket. All right,
Look at
let
you
me go to the
go.
chat. I'm gonna
You're
have to
doing
go
great,
back
and I bet
1,000
Francis
years.
appreciated the help.
Thank you,
Was
by the
Gabby
way,
still
for
there?
everyone who's tuning in. We appreciate your participation, even if you're just lurking.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I always get excited when there are people in my chat and actually watching my stream, and it's not just like me. Let's see. Of course, had a hint of things. Francis is a nice boy. Francis is just completely lovable. What's Gabby's favorite food? Do we have a canon answer for that, or should I just like? How about
There
this?
isn't a canon thing. I will say you are safe to assume, as a rabbit, she enjoys carrots and lettuce.
Yes.
But
Carrots and
in
lettuce.
general, those kinds of what are her favorite X and Y? Does she like this or that? We like to keep it open because different people like different things. So getting to imagine her like enjoying your favorite video game or sharing your favorite food is better than us like having a concrete idea of no, she hates carrot cake or that kind of thing.
Carrot cake is kind of gross, though.
She's actually lactose intolerant, so you can't have ice cream with her. Like, that's
Oh
not fun.
no. I hope I don't get hate for not liking carrot cake. Okay. Would love to hear their interpretation of
I
the
don't either,
beta
so you're-
Gavi design.
I imagine the voice probably wouldn't have been that much different if it were the other design, because the writing was still the same, so we still wanted the same range out of the character. It just
It would have came out
sounds
of the face.
yeah, it sounds nicer coming out of the sweeter character design.
Mm-hmm. Zelda CDI. Was it that where the designs were done after the voices? I have no idea. Maybe somebody later in the chat answered and knows or does know. This one is
Yeah,
Steph herself. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know that the lip syncs and stuff in the Zelda CDI game doesn't match very well, but that could come from any part of production. It could be that the animation was rushed, so they weren't able to be very precise. It could be that they did the voices after, so they had to guess during animation. Who knows? That whole thing is unique.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes like if the sync is bad, you're right, it could be like a variety of different things. I mean, sometimes it's just a bad sync, but a lot of times it's like, you know, technical things that happened in production. This one is to Steph herself. Have you ever tried voicing Gabby a wider range of emotions like anger, sadness, etc.? Not only within the context of the show, because I feel like with Gabby, I mean, I'm trying to think how Gabby would sound if she was like I'm trying to think how I want to phrase this. Gabby does in the show express anger and sadness, but it's all in Gabby's kind of own way. She would never be the one to be, you know, screaming and yelling at the top of her lungs or throwing a tantrum or being like violent and stuff. That's just not who she is as a character. So, you know, of course, like I could probably say something in Gabby's like voice with those emotions, but it wouldn't be Gabby because everything kind of has to be tempered by Gabby's character and what Gabby's like. And Gabby wouldn't, for like some of these like really, really large, crazy, out of control emotions, Gabby wouldn't say that or do that. So I hope
Part of
that's a good
why
answer.
Yeah, and part of why we really loved working with Steph for this role was because she has so much nuance to where under the like veil of maternal understanding, she can be annoyed and somber and sensitive and all those things. Like you could say that in during the Easter special, she gets angry, but it's
Oh yeah.
Gabby's version of angry where she's also patient and realizes she has to be the adult in the room. So Steph does an excellent job at carrying those subtleties into the emotion while still being very at the core of Gabby's like understanding place as a character.
Yeah, or if you take like a character who's like really sweet and loving 95% of the time, but then she just gets a little extra firm all of a sudden, it's kind of like, uh-oh, someone's in trouble. She's using her like firm voice. And that's not like over the top, but it's still enough of a departure that you can tell that for the context of this character, that's like her version of that range.
Yeah, that's like the at the heart of Gabby's character, she's always controlled. She's always patient and she's always kind. So when she is exhibiting an emotion, it's always a controlled emotion. Anyway, okay, let's see what else. Is this game canon to the series? I'll let you guys answer that, but I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
We did in chat. It is canon but non-chronological, so it's not happening like where the show is right now, obviously because Gabby is here and in the show she's not. But yes, we'll usually be very explicit about something if it's not canon so that you don't have to wonder. Like, the Angel Hair forum you can access through the Westpatch website is non-canon. That's just a free-for-all where anyone can post anything and like they can roleplay as Jonah if they want because you can make your own usernames. So that's like a total canonless hellscape, but the video game is.
That's a great description. It's a canonless hellscape, you know. All right. Graphite mentioned that like the audio mixing in this is different than the series. Yeah, it is. And honestly, it was kind of initially sort of like jarring to hear me talking as Gabby without and everybody else talking without the like the filter.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the filter does somewhat change the quality of the performance very, very slightly. Like it does a little bit to uh like just subtle little things that I think they sound very different filtered and unfiltered as well, but I think for the game made less sense to have that kind of aging on it, and also I really didn't want to age the music any because Charles's music is so pretty, and I thought
Mhm.
that there would be disparity there if the voices did have it, but the music didn't. It would be like, oh, this lovely music. Hello, Jonah, how are you?
That would be really strange. You're right. Yeah, because I mean, with the show too, a lot of the music that you use kind of still has that vibe. It's like the old scratchy record player. Uh, it kind of just has like a little bit of natural distortion to it. So it fits. But yeah, I can see like if you had "Hello, Jonah," like with this, it would just sound so strange.
Mhm.
All
Plus,
right.
the CD-ROM was found in excellent condition, so it only makes sense.
The box was not in excellent condition, but the CD-ROM was.
The box
Um,
protected it all those
The
years.
box protected it. The box protected it. I'm really glad you guys saved it, because I feel like I had it at one point in time, but I threw it away with a bunch of floppy disks, and yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah,
guys saved the
it's
CD and you
that kind of
uploaded it.
stuff, but, it said limited edition, so you never know.
You never know. You never know. All right, I forget. We'll all go to the next game, and then we'll come back to the chat, but where am I going now?
You should
The
visit the
stream.
stream next to
Okay.
see what's been growing there. Nature is a wonderful gift. You ought to go enjoy it.
Hey,
And also for
there's some
any
words
point
over
in
there
it, if you
can
keep
match
clicking
or
her,
spell
she'll
or
just
something.
take you there, but you have to go through enough reps. Like, if you already know it's there, you can just go to the games. You don't have to show each unique line of dialogue.
Is the dialogue different between the maps, or between the games? Or is it the
Yes.
same as in the beginning? Oh, okay.
It's different, but in, like, subtle ways. Like, she's still
Doing
essentially
great,
going through the
champ.
same beats.
Okay.
Well, you
Okay,
read all
sure.
of them. Surely you remember, right?
I don't remember anything. I don't remember what happened yesterday. I don't remember what I
Keep it up.
recorded. I mean, I had to reach out to you today to be like, hey, did I record that thing for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Guess I couldn't remember.
This
All
a fun fact for folks. Steph will often be like, I did like when does this line I say come into place or like in anything we do. She's like, give me the context for this.
Yeah, she doesn't know how the show ends.
Or like the
I-
games we do or like in season 1 it was really fun showing the episodes and her being like, "Oh, that's what was happening."
Yeah, and even now, by the way, I want to point this out because if you drag the mouse up and down, you make Zag's eyes move, and it's kind of looks possessed. But yeah, that's actually true. I have no context for anything that happens in the show. So every single week when we're having our viewing parties, which we'll have another one this Saturday, right, for episode 5? Episode
yeah.
5's coming this week. Yeah, every single time we watch it, I'm just as surprised as the next person. I have no idea. So I'm like, oh, we're going into like this noir detective thing now. That's really cool. I had no idea we were going to be doing that. And I love it. It's like a nice surprise all the time.
Yeah. Is because we don't want to inundate voice actors with a long script that's only, partially relevant to them. So we feel like it's efficient to just give them their lines. And the other part is it is kind of fun to keep stuff to ourselves and reveal it with them.
Yeah. You guys are keeping all your secrets, secrety secrets. All right. I have to say, and everyone else pointed this out too. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, this spells teacher. Of course. Like, look, teacher. And it is in fact not, because it is a E H E A T E R. Cheater just like me.
You're almost there. Meet
For
me at
a
my
development
class
fun
and you can earn your
fact,
last ticket.
that was
There
all
are
the
all
programmer
kinds of fun
Bell's idea,
clouds to
because in our
see.
script we just had listed some kind of word game, and like they kind of had to come up with the entire premise for it themselves, and they were like, "What kind of words?" And we're like, "We don't know. We're sorry. What kind of words do you want?" And they were like, "I came up with there's the word letters for teacher, but it spells cheater," and they had like this little malicious emote next to it, and we're like, "Belle,
I
you're
love it.
genius."
That is amazing. Yeah, and it's perfect with Zag's character too, because it's like he knows. He knows
His
what you
act-
did, and he's
And
just
how
like,
they arranged the letters to kind of telegraph
Meet me at my
teachers,
cloud house
because
and you
the
can
T's
get your
right
last
there,
ticket.
and it's so easy.
Oh,
They did a
don't
really
worry,
good job.
Jonah.
yeah.
All that's left now is for you to visit my home. Oh, don't worry, Jonah. All that's left now is for you to visit my home.
Alright, I'm gonna just keep clicking it until it takes
You
me
know
there.
where to go if you don't feel safe. You can
No, I
always
know.
come back. We'll wait. You know where to go if you don't feel safe. You can always come back. We'll wait. You know where to go. You know where to
It's
go
the
if you
Gabby
don't feel
remix.
safe.
You know,
It's all right if you're afraid of heights. I'll never leave your side while you're out here, Jonah. It's all right if you're afraid of heights. It's all right if you're afraid of heights.
There we go.
I'll
Okay.
never. I'm so glad you could come. Let me officially welcome you to my house in the clouds, Jonah.
Sorry, I was gonna pause between the games to answer questions and look at chat, but I'll do it after this. Wait. You live in a cloud? That's why it's called a
right.
cloud house.
Isn't it wonderful?
She lives on the ground, it wouldn't be called a cloud house.
I'm so glad you could come. Let me Thank you, Jonah. I'm glad you think so. I hope you can find some peace here.
Okay, there's...
I'm so glad you could come.
I'm ready to go cloud
There are
gazing.
all kinds of beautiful clouds to look at when you live up in the sky. Watching them drift by always helps me relax. I bet we can even find some clouds that look the same. Click on a cloud to reveal its shape, and find the matching pairs until the skies are all clear. Once you're done, I'll give you your last ticket.
Alright. I'm hopefully better at this game than the cat game in crowing, which I've never beat.
The cat game in crowing is incredibly unforgiving.
It is so unforgiving.
I have managed to beat it, though. It took several tries.
I'm actually
Gosh, it was
kidding.
so fun designing the poor lip sync on this Gabby sprite.
Mm-hmm.
It just randomly opens her mouth.
Wonderful
I didn't even
choice.
notice.
Speaking of, while Steph plays, I'll point out, since the lovely stream layout shows
You
Gabby's
did it.
normal
A
design,
clear sky
cheap
can be
little
just
CD
as lovely
Gabby
as a
has a few
cloudy
subtle
one.
differences.
Isn't
If
it
you'll
great
notice,
that
her
beauty can take so
freckles
many
aren't
forms?
colored, her foot coloring details are missing, as well as her wing gradients, and she has weird little self-shading shadows that she normally doesn't, just to try to give it that extra bit of off-brandedness that CD-ROM interpretations of characters usually had.
Yeah, that I noticed. I never noticed the freckles. I did notice the lack of like the pink on her little feet, but I never noticed the other stuff too. That's pretty cool.
Now, let's get you that ticket.
Oh yeah, the mouth just keeps moving without her talking.
Wait a minute. There's something strange about your tickets, Jonah. Please be honest with me. Did you earn all of these fair and square?
I'm an honest girl. No, I didn't.
I'm glad you trust me enough to be honest with me, Jonah. I'm sure Francis had his reasons for giving you a ticket without earning it, but it's
Someone
wrong
asked
for
for you
him
to do a
drag you
poll.
into his lie.
I was thinking about it actually, but
Let's
and I
go
was
back
like,
and talk to Francis
that would take
together.
me
I want to have a
forever
word
trying to
with him,
figure out how to set
and
up
I
a
think
poll.
you could learn from it too.
Oh, hello there, Gabby. Shouldn't y'all be up in the air balloon by now?
All right, let's just move through since this is kind of like in the middle of dialogue and I don't know a good place to stop. Plus, I love this part too.
Francis, do you want to tell me why you would give Jonah a ticket when he didn't earn it?
Yeah, Francis.
Well, we tried to play the game, but it didn't work, so I felt bad. I just didn't want him to miss out on any fun.
That's very kind of you.
I'm sure that was part of it. But do you think you might have had another reason, Francis? Maybe a more selfish one?
Francis doesn't have a selfish bone in his body.
Oh,
Francis is
sorry,
adorable
Gabby.
and sweet and
I
kind,
was
and
scared. I know I've got inner demons, and I didn't
Hey,
want to
he's
get
gotta
wrecked on
have
the
flaws if
outside for
she's
what I
gonna have a
was doing
vehicle
within
through
me.
which to teach lessons on doing better.
that is true. That is true. Oh, could you just imagine like hitting yourself, being like, "Sorry, I'm getting my inner demons."
It's all right, Francis. Nobody is without fault. But you shouldn't hide from your shortcomings.
Good lesson.
I'm glad you were able to come around to the truth. But you still cheated Jonah out of a game, and you still have to address your inner demons.
I know, Gabby.
Also, fun fact, we still have no idea how to pronounce his name, but this is the voice actor. This is his first actual role. His first role is Friend Francis, and he's fantastic. He is amazing at this.
Yeah, we were extremely surprised because he didn't mention it in his audition, but when we were talking to him, he's like, by the way, I haven't done this before. And we were greatly surprised because he has such just a delightful nuance, like being able to traipse from just the friendly, like, well, hello there, optimism to the like
I'm
cowardly or
so
scared or
sad.
the little things of like, oh, please, Gabby. Like every little thing we need from him, he's always so good at.
Mm-hmm. And I love that the little extra at the end of, I don't know if it's like the first, I think it's the second letter segment, where he's he's like reading his own name, and he's
The
just like
second
like
one.
completely butchering it, like Vina, Vini.
Yeah, as a little fun fact trivia, the end credits segments that he talks over for each letter are all like just bonus ad lib things he threw at us for fun, and uh just whenever there's one that we feel like this is too good to miss, we include it in the end credits.
With the jackalopes. The jackalopes. Demon hairs must be jackalopes. All right, I know,
Click on the
Gabby.
mallet and you can
Whack
whack
any
any
demon
demon
hairs.
hairs you see.
It's all right, Jonah. Go on. Just click on the mallet, and I'll help Francis do what must be done.
See, like, that's Gabby kind of being stern.
This is for your own good, Francis.
Dun dun dun. I just love this. I love
I
this
hope
sound
that's a
effect, and
valuable
I just
lesson for you
love the it's just the expression on her face too.
Mhm.
And I never noticed before, but like she's holding this mallet by her thumb, and I don't even know because she only has 4 fingers what that would be considered, like her index finger.
I just
Just like,
really wanted to make sure it was absolutely clear that it was a gentle tap, so she had to hold it with like a way that would have no velocity at all. Like, no, she didn't hurt him, and this is showing the aftermath. It was just a loving little pat.
but that takes some real angel strength there to like hold it like that. That's gotta be a pretty heavy mallet. And to just be holding it out like that, I mean, that's pretty strong. Okay.
I'll never run from my demons again, Gabby. I promise.
We'll see about that. But for now, you've got a hot air balloon to catch, Jonah. Here's your 3rd ticket. I'll see you in the skies.
There we go. All right. Let's look at chat before we go to the hot air balloon. Let me see. I gotta scroll
Yeah, where were we?
way up. Chin scratchy Gabby.
Right, we did the is
Okay.
this game canon question,
Um.
and the audio mixing difference.
Yeah, Zag does kind of give off Eeyore vibes sometimes. He's a little bit grumpy. I don't know, it's interesting because I feel like with Zag, people either love him or hate him. There's no middle ground, and I don't know how you could.
Delightfully divisive. I find it hilarious.
Yeah, I love Zag. Do the VAs get to make any input to stuff like character lines? I'm pretty sure like I do have the liberty to do that if I make a suggestion. And I know I have before. If a line's been like difficult to read, we've changed words. I'm sure you would have allowed me to do it, but the script is usually so well written, I don't see a need to make any changes and I also don't know what the heck's happening either. Like I'm completely in the dark, so
Yeah. For the most part, changes come from if a line is being difficult to read, and that tells us, okay, some part of this wording isn't organic, or the syllables just happen to be tripping them up. And as long as it still delivers its core message, it's fine to futz around with the specific words so that it flows easier.
Yeah, and that's like less most of the time that's less that the voice actor is like failing to perform well and more that we wrote something that is just difficult to perform because like typing something on the page is very different from saying it out loud, and if we don't do out loud passes of it, stuff like that can get by where it's like, "Oh, that's not how humans talk. Whoops."
Mhm. Or it's just like almost like a tongue twister and like I have to like I do the line like 1,000 times. I'm like, I can't do it. Let's just do it this way. Um but yeah, but I know there are some other shows where you're like encouraging us to improvise. Like one that is upcoming and I don't think has been formally announced to the public,
It's
but
coming up soon, I hope.
yeah, I think our patrons know about it, but there's going to be another show coming up that we were given suggestion like, if you want to improvise, do it, and we did. Uh so yeah, you'll
Yes,
get to
you
look forward.
certainly did.
We certainly did. Uh,
Just to tease folks a little bit, we're hoping that it'll be a show that very fully uses the mechanics of the letters episodes to where y'all can engage and participate in the actual story. So hopefully that'll be really interesting, but we'll see. It might be a disaster.
but it'll be an experimental disaster
Yeah.
because
And
I've
fun
never.
either way. So.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fun. And yeah, I'm really excited too because we're bringing in a voice actor who is actually a director and content creator of another show I'm in, called Heretical Funhouse, and it's
Yeah.
cool working with him as a voice actor because he's really talented in that regard too. So it's I don't know I sometimes I just love this stuff for the social aspect of it, like being on a call with you guys, and especially if Roger's in the mix too. It's just nonstop laughs and talking about radioactive lemons and like the thermal capacity of goose feathers and stuff. So it gets nuts.
It's delightful.
It's delightful. All right. The only time Gabby does talk seriously out of his preschooler vibe voice is when he asks Jonah, "What would you like me to do?" I can tell if Steph voiced it like that or if it was a filter added on the audio. So that particular line where Gabby's asking Jonah, "What would you like me to do?" Um, that was a little bit of a different delivery. I intentionally did the line to sound a lot more intense, but there's also a filter applied on top of that too, if I recall correctly. I think there's like a
Yeah, that had some pitch shifting because
yeah,
there were
it's
several things meant to imitate like a audio tape kind of
yeah,
sliding around a little degradedly, and that one had a little bit of extra. What would you like me to do?
yeah, yeah. So it was recorded a little bit differently, but there was stuff that was done post processing too.
So it
Um,
was a lovely combination of both.
Now that we see him, what do you think of Gabby?
Exactly.
Zaggy. I love
Mhm.
Zaggy. Zaggy is just such an unexpected character, and I feel like he is the grounded, common sense, kind of person that we need in this. Like you got Francis and his innocence and his silliness, and he is kind of clumsy and makes mistakes. You've got Gabby, who's just, even though she can get aggressive and take action and stuff, at her heart she's just this optimist and is just like she's like a Valentine's Day card. Like she's just like happiness all the time. And then Zag kind of level sets with everybody. And I think I'm trying to think how to say this, but like if it weren't for Zag, obviously there wouldn't be this second season. Like Zag is really driving season 2. I don't know. Do you guys have commentary on Zag?
Well, it was a little nerve-wracking, you know, because we're taking everyone's favorite character and replacing it with a wild card for a story we think is going to be very satisfying, but people have to be patient with it because we took out the thing that everyone loves. So it's kind of like when an actor leaves a sitcom and you need to replace them, and it's just like, well, let's just hope this works out. It'll be rocky, but they'll learn to love him or hate him, and we'll just have to, you know, commit to whatever happens.
And if you don't like him, you always have season 1, and you can just put that baby on loop as much as you like.
You don't like it? Put it on repeat. That's great. Okay, so I've seen someone spell cheater. What happens if you spell teacher? I tried that because when I first played the game, that was my first instinct. I thought it was teacher, and it just doesn't let you click on it. Like you can hit the T and then just nothing will happen. So you're kind of left, you realize kind of off the bat that that's not what it is.
Behold our themes of confrontation.
Does Gabby know Zag is at the pond? I assume this game isn't canon. I don't know. Is there an answer to that? Does in the canon of the game, does Gabby know Zag's at the pond?
I think until the end of season 2, I might want to leave that vague. What do you think?
She says there's something weird growing, and you can interpret that however you want.
Some weird fauna at the pond and just talking about Zaggy.
That's like a weird, unique, nasty insult. Like, oh, there's something weird growing there. Oh, it's Zaggy. Let's see. Gabby just gaping her mouth like a fish. I love the animation. Yeah. When she's just like, when she's animated and she's not talking and she... So if Gabby's sword isn't actually a sword, what about the hammer? I don't know, maybe I missed it someplace in the chat. I don't think it's established that the sword isn't a sword. The sword is a sword, isn't it?
Yeah, she calls it a prop, but that doesn't mean it isn't real.
Yeah.
It's a metaphorical sword. She just also can physically hold it in her hand.
It can just cut people, but it's entirely metaphorical.
Well, it's a very sharp metaphor.
It's a very sharp metaphor. Why are you hitting yourself, Francis? Yes, this was Vinamin's first role. I said that name very, very fast, so you can't tell if I mispronounced it or not.
And honestly, that's the beauty of the way we do casting calls on a very open website, is because we get some folks who are very experienced. We get some folks that it's their first time. For the West Patch, we had someone like email a dense resume for like ADR he did for Marvel and stuff like that. And it just always comes down to, okay, who's bringing the right character to the role and the right performance. And we try to set up lines that show a range of emotions so that we can see if they're going to carry the different arcs the character is going to need. And it's so fun getting to use people in all spectrums of experience by setting it up that way.
I mean, if you want to replace me with Laura Bailey, you can. I won't argue. Yeah. Oh, okay. If Gabby's wings get wet, can she fly? And will there be more angel hair things after this case stuff? I'm tossing that over to you.
Does she have like duck-like wings where the water can just shuffle off them, do you think? Do rabbits have oil-covered
Oh no,
wings?
now I want to draw a picture where she's like stuck at Francis's house because it's raining outside and she can't fly to her class.
Oh, that's so sad.
An oscillating fan on her wings, waiting for them to dry out so she can go home. Okay, because of that, I will pretend that she can't fly when they're wet because it's cute if she has to hang out at Francis's place sipping tea, waiting to get her brings back Flight Ready. And as for more angel hair things, the answer we always give is that it depends, because when season one ended, we said this is the ending we wrote for the show, but if other stuff inspires us or we're confident in other stories, we will continue it. And then was the Easter special, which vaguely teased to something more, which ended up being season two. And season two has a conclusive ending for it that could be the last thing, or we could continue to like sit on it, stew, wait until we have something we feel strongly about, and keep doing it.
Yeah, the key takeaway is we're not in a hurry. When we made the Easter special, which was months after season one, we had a vague idea that we felt strongly enough to pursue and tease something, but we still had a lot of workshopping to do on it. And that was like months later where we finally decided, okay, this is strong enough to at least commit to announcing it vaguely. And it took a year to get season two where we wanted it, and we're still working on the animation, but it took that long to decide on the course, do all the writing. We're still tweaking the writing, get all the voice acting done. So it's basically maybe, but you're gonna have to be super, super patient either way.
Yeah.
So essentially, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We're little scamps who like to not confirm or deny things.
No,
Mayhap.
that's true. We can either confirm. You say that a lot. We can neither confirm nor deny. Blah blah blah. All right. Yeah. So thanks for answering that question. Yeah, the design was finalized when I auditioned. I wish there's another person. Zag is a lily pad. Canon. Oh, I love this. I love this. Something weird's growing. It's Zag's patience growing thin.
That's very good.
I love it. Let's see.
Oh, Steph, have you ever clicked on Zag during the spelling game?
I did, and it didn't do anything.
What?
Yeah,
I think she heard his couple of lines already.
maybe I did. I don't know. I was clicking on him, and then I kind of got distracted watching his eyes move. This is really funny. I don't think he did. I don't know. I'll have to watch the VOD after we're done.
I don't think it's worth doing a whole nother playthrough right now, obviously. He just has a few, like, not as helpful as Gabby is lines.
Well, like your dismissive, not paying attention uncle.
Yeah, basically.
I think that was actually the direction we gave him too.
Yeah. We have 15 acres of property. Go play on one. Like, get out of here. All right, let's see if there's the sword is not the sword of Gabriel. Metaphorical, metaphysical. If the sword is sharp wit, the hammer is probably the blunt truth.
Ooh.
I like that. I like that
See,
a lot.
the beauty of high art is you can take something random and add so much like philosophy to
You're
it.
calling it high art now?
I'm saying that because that is like the extent of what I learned with my fine arts degree. Is you get like first you just slap something on the canvas and then you decide how it's like a parable of your childhood or something, and you use the story behind the mark making to make it a little more than it is. So, and like that actually happens a lot in our storytelling where we just pick the name Jonah, and then the more we think about Jonah and what that means, different themes could come from that and grow. And just being able to say, okay, the sword is a metaphor, so let's attach one to something else. That's how things kind of naturally expand past just being a random mallet asset. And I think it's really fun.
They're like happy accidents that
Yeah,
turn
exactly.
into like amazing connections. I just realized, and now I can't unsee it, the way that Jonah down here, the name is off center. I don't like that.
Neurons didn't have the budget for centering.
And some things may have been done closer to the deadline than
Oh, that's
others.
just
To picture if it was a longer name like Francine, the last letter just gets cut off at the end. Like it doesn't even fill it all the way.
I thought it was just like when I used to put my name on Scantrons in high school and in like school, and there would never be enough space for my name, so I'd always be Stefan. Because I couldn't put the IE. Yeah, I just thought that was intentional. Was it?
Nothing. It was a bad joke.
I didn't hear it, and I'm sad. All right, I'll click on the balloon. We'll do that. And then I know someone made a suggestion, like let's do a speed run. I will try to quickly get back to Zag and see if I can get Zag to be a little puppet and make noises. I don't know. We'll see. All right, clicking on the
Also be a little
balloon.
careful, because with Ren Pie, if you start speed
Hello
clicking,
there.
it can sometimes break a smidge.
My name is Angel Gabby.
Well, I just
and
clicked
I
on
can't wait to
the
have fun learning
What?
with
hot
you.
air balloon and it took me out.
If you see
All
your
right, so I
name
guess
in
what we are doing a speed
click
run.
on it to continue your
Oh no! How dare it skip the ending?
It didn't do that when I played it the first time. I don't know what
That's one of my
changed.
favorite
Welcome
music
back,
from
Jonah.
Charles.
You've picked a wonderful hot air balloon has stopped by. And
Alright,
it's so
speedrun
much
edition
Oh.
but
guide.
before you can
Okay.
it looks like when you're
I'm ready to begin.
remember
I want to get an achievement for this. My Angel Gabby's speedrun.
Oh, wait.
Bonk, 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 bonk.
Well,
All right, where's our ticket one?
look at you go. You're
Alright,
doing
here we go.
great.
Hey, if there's some words over there you can match or spell or something.
All right, you just want me to keep clicking on him? Click. 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 Click, click. Click, 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 click. He's not doing anything.
Does he not give, like, his couple of disinterested lines? Try doing a
Let-
letter first, maybe.
Oh, so by the way, this is what happens when you click on, like when you try to spell out teacher. It just does this little thing.
Yeah, it only lets you do the letter that it has.
Let me try partially doing it, maybe? No, he's not doing anything.
Well, I wasn't. He only has like 2 lines and then he stops responding. Or he's supposed to. Huh.
Oh, I think I just broke it. Oops.
Interesting.
This might be what you meant by don't click too fast.
Oh no, is it doing the ticket stuck glitch? Oh jeez.
Is
Yeah,
that a
this
known
happening.
glitch? Alright, hang on, guys.
It related to clicking through it quickly.
I'm gonna reboot this. Sorry, guys. Give me a
Zag
second
freeze
here.
speedrun. We did it.
Yeah. That's why we don't do speedruns in the activity center. Alright, it should be appearing soon. Hopefully. There we go. Of course, I gotta recenter it because it's being stupid. Okay.
Hello there. My name is Angel
Alright,
Gabby.
so we have
and
to do this at a leisurely pace.
Welcome back, Jonah. You've picked a hot
Sorry, I
But
just like
before you
sighed
can
in the
ride,
microphone and
you've-
made a horrible noise.
Luckily, you can get them when you're done.
G
The
stuff.
last
Tell us how you really
Once
feel.
you've collected, do you have any questions? Great.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow.
Remember, I'll be watching.
Alright.
oh my.
How can I
Oh,
help?
it's so. If we don't stop them soon, I heard you're collecting tickets. If you
Alright, let me look over
remember
here.
though, demon hairs
I can't
aren't
be
always.
bothered. Zag is fed up with the clicking. He broke the game to stop it. Once you see Bonk glitch run.
Oh, hold on now, friend. How about I just let you have the ticket? Well, if need, congratulations on receiving
Hidden
your first
minigame. Zag Swamp Purgatory. Really love a Zag emote of Resident Sleeper. Alright, I'm gonna go back to writing. Have fun writing. I've been really enjoying reading your story, Alex. I don't know if you're still on the chat or not, but been really enjoying
ticket.
it.
See you later. And remember, this is our little secret.
Look at you go. You're doing great, and I bet.
Can I make
Francis
sure to
appreciated
mention
the
that
help.
it's Charles Bunny is involved in the game design? He is?
He is. Sorry, Steph wasn't part of the like development stuff. Charles did all of the game assets, half of the UI, all of the background art, all of the music. Basically, more than half of the game single-handedly. I think we contributed
There's some words.
character
Sounds like a-
sprites, writing, was there anything else? Was that it? Brand recognition. We were very busy making the dang show. There was a lot more I was supposed to help with, and then anytime
We're
I ran out of
almost
time for
there.
something, Charles
Meet
was
me at
like,
my
I can
cloud
do it.
house and you can earn your last
So we
That's
really,
awesome.
There are
yeah, I was
I'm
waiting
so
for the
glad
credits
you
to
could
play,
come.
but then we had to
Let
do
me
another
officially
run
welcome
through
you to
before
my
the
house in
balloon
the
would work.
clouds, Jonah.
That's awesome.
There are all kinds of beautiful clouds to look at
Alright.
when you live. I bet we can even.
Oh, there's like different different shapes this time.
Yeah, there's a bank that it randomizes from. Also,
Oh.
Charles, are you okay with me talking a little bit about the thing you've been working on for me?
Wonderful job.
Dun dun dun.
Graphite Shores wants you to lie
You
this
did
time,
it.
Steph.
A clear sky can
Okay,
be just as
you got
lovely
it.
as a cloudy one. Now, let's get you that ticket.
Thank you, Charles. He's working on some beautiful
minute.
graphics for a
Something
playlist
strange
video
about your
of his game music that's going to come out very soon.
Right.
So if
Ooh.
you enjoy just sitting back to the season 1 playlist,
I
maybe you'll
understand why
enjoy
you would say
sitting
that.
back to the
But I
video
saw you
game
play with
playlist
It isn't
because
fair to
it's
claim
got
the reward
some
without doing the work.
fun bangers,
with me
some
back to Francis's
emotionally
house.
sweeping
I wanna
ones.
have a word with
I know
Lady
I
Mimi.
get a little bit teary sometimes at the end credits song, and it's just really generally awesome stuff that'll be able to be on our YouTube soon and link back to his Bandcamp.
Yeah, there's
That is
quite a lot of
awesome.
comments on the Manly Let's Plays saying that the music was very touching and high quality. So,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Charles is pretty great.
That is pretty cool. True MVP right there. I did not know that, and that is really cool. Part of the club.
Oh, hello there, Gabby. Shouldn't y'all be up in there?
Okay.
Francis,
This is the same,
do you
right?
want to tell?
You're gonna get all the
I'm sure that
bonks,
was part of
buddy.
Oh,
It's all right, Francis. I'm glad.
I know,
I'm just
Gabby.
making sure I'm clicking at
On
an
the map
even
at 19.
pace, so as to
Yeah.
not.
It's all right, Jonah. Go on.
I understand.
That nice balance of
This is for
hasty
your own
restraint.
good, Francis.
Yes. It's,
I hope that's a valuable lesson for you both.
I want to take a screenshot of this. Hang on.
I can just send you the full image. I was very
You-
self-conscious about it, so as soon as people said nice things, I was like, okay, good.
I'll never run from
Never
my
run from my demons
Gabby.
again, Gabby.
I
I
promise.
promise. Good boy,
We'll
Francis.
see about that. But for now, you've
He
got
sounds a
hot
little
air balloon
bit,
to catch,
a little
Jonah.
bit.
Here's your third
hesitant.
ticket. I'll see you in the skies.
All right, fingers crossed. Here we go. There we go. It works this time.
Hey! Clap, 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 clap.
Clap, 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 clap. And that concludes Angel Hare's learning adventure.
Woo!
Woohoo! So,
3 games
by
in
the
1.
Mangan sisters, yeah. I really do love it because it's it definitely has that nostalgic like it feels like it was from that time period. It feels like it's from the 90s. You know, it's from back when we
Right click while
had
Notafish's name is on
back
screen.
when
I
we
didn't know
had-
I'm looking into these
name is on
credits,
screen.
but
Right,
hang on, sorry. I just give me a second
Oh.
here. You probably
Sorry.
heard some feedback because I'm trying to like get this into the chat, and I went onto the actual Twitch site, and I'm trying. There we go. There's many alternate ways to do things. There we go. There is the link if you would like to play the game on your own.
Hello
Uh,
there.
That's
My
the
name
link
is Angel
there.
Gabby.
And
I
if you
can't wait
have
to
played
have
it,
fun
but you
learning with
haven't rated it yet, you're able to go to, I think from the game page, you can go to the game jams page that'll list all the games. And if you navigate to us from there, you can rate the game. And you can rate it honestly, however you like. If you hated it and do 1 star, I will still appreciate your participation.
Are the ratings anonymous?
No.
That's kind of stupid. That's kind of. I mean, I can kind of see how they would have that if they're trying to avoid people putting in like multiple votes and like reviews and stuff. But that's kind of silly that you can't be anonymous.
If we see a 1 star, we're gonna note your name down, and if you order a bobblehead, there's gonna be a $5 charge at it.
That's not accurate.
They're gonna see your request and they're just gonna be like, nope, this person's not getting one. All right, I'm gonna switch over to a different overlay and we can answer more questions. And I'm gonna show off that I made another overlay. This is not like my normal stuff. Like usually my colors are a lot darker and I have my friendly little panda. But I made everything angel hair themed. Let me see. Ha! Look. I wish I could have gotten that little Discord overlay thing working though, and it just.
Well, it's still
I guess it wouldn't have been very useful because you guys are using the same mic. It would just be like if someone's talking and my mouth isn't moving, it's either Hannah or Rachel.
Okay, so right quick, I see some questions, but I want to finish a thing that I was saying during the credits because Not a Fish was listed as a co-writer, but Not a Fish also designed the CD and cereal box art.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So if you saw that announcement, all of that graphic design work for the game and cereal box cover was also by Not a Fish, who helped with some of the additional writing for the game. Anytime you're able to choose different dialogue options, that was all her. I was gonna railroad y'all.
Is Not a Fish, is Not a Fish on the server?
I think so. They're not like an active participant, but I think they've joined. I'm actually not sure.
People have so many different names.
I
That
know.
sometimes I can't even keep track of like who's who. All right, let me go back to the chat. Yeah, there's lots of me clicking. Yeah, definitely. Oh, and your comment here, definitely check out the other games in the game jam. There are some like really awesome ones out there.
Mhm. A lot of
I was
people,
surprised by how many people participate in it.
yeah, and a lot of people had much more time this month than we did and made much more elaborate, beautiful, fancy games. So, uh, some of them like go really hard and are probably gonna win stuff.
Like Jets.
Yeah, Jets game goes pretty hard.
Jets is Jet's like one of my favorite people. All right. Does Gabby sniff around for carrots with her big bunny nose? I don't think she has to. I think she just has carrots in the refrigerator. She doesn't have to go pick her own carrots. I think she just has them.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
she
know.
probably has them in garden rows where she can just easily identify them. I do really love her giant pink nose, though. Mac gave us several color variants to pick from, and I was like, that's a really bright nose. I kind of love it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so okay. So question, how does Angel Gabby get her produce? How does Angel Gabby go grocery shopping or does she have a garden? Or this is my question. I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm going to, I think, go off of Francis's how do they get their mail answer and say just like everybody else does. She gets her groceries where everyone else does. Wherever that is for you, yes.
yep, just like everybody else does. And however you do, that's how Angel Gabby does. Yeah, Charles is doing God's work. And the music is absolutely phenomenal. So
Game would not have finished without Charles's help, or it would have been in an extremely rough state that I would have been embarrassed of.
yeah. Yeah, I too I love the frame of Gabby looming over Francis with the hammer. Like that's and him just kind of like, oh, oh, what are you gonna do? It's so sad. Two modes, regular Gabby and Gabby holding a hammer. That is true. Wonder where the balloon came from. Editor. Editor. Make it look like it all happened in one run. What do you I could. I could do that. Make it all seem like, oh, it worked perfectly fine the entire time.
Oh
I could
yeah,
just piece everything
we're
together and you would just
fun
see like,
talking? No.
I mean, I would be like down in the lower right corner and you could see my video and like I would go from like this to this in like half a second and just like be jerking around like when people are creating TikTok videos and they're talking and it's obviously like pieced together and there's like subtle,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it would look like that. Um who are we meant to click on? So everybody is clickable. Gabby and Francis and apparently Zag, but it, it it could be my computer too. I don't know. It might not be a problem with the game, but I couldn't get Zag to talk. Uh, I rated it, gave the music a one. Why did you give the music a 1 star? Yeah, you better be not be serious, not really, because it's fantastic. Um, Oh, and there was a question about this kind of somewhere earlier. If Gabby gets a berry stain, how long will it last? Uh,
I am not a fan of fairies as a person, so I'm going to say that she has stain resistant fur because I don't like thinking about that.
okay. Um, does Jonah see Angel Gabby as a mother figure? I think
I'm going to
probably,
say general caregiver is my vibe. Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, Jonah has a mom, and
And
it
like she can
seems
have sorry,
go
go on.
you you go.
Okay, fine.
No, you.
She can have maternal moments, but I think mother figure as a whole is a very specific vibe, and I think that uh sometimes she's a bit more of a like just friend and what you need her to be than specifically a mother. Uh so yeah, like there's overlap in the motherhood Venn diagram, but I think guardian angel is a little more personal than that.
Hmm. I can get behind that answer. That's a good answer. Yeah, it's a very complicated and complex sort of relationship that she has with Jonah. Let's see. Y'all send in coal in the mail if you rate it 1 star. Coal's expensive.
It
And it
is.
probably cost a lot to ship because it's also
We'll
heavy.
send the paper mache coal substitutes.
Yeah.
It'll be
Sweet
very
coal.
lightweight for the post.
It'll just be packing peanuts.
Mhm.
Or rocks or something. Well, rocks are heavy too. I don't know, something lightweight and that's like really cheap. Tissues. Yeah, I can't wait for the Francis bobblehead either. Yeah, I'll gladly plug that. So there are going to be Francis bobbleheads and they are made in-house. Isn't that right?
Yeah, each 3D printed, hand painted, and assembled by us. There's an order form in our Discord and on our YouTube community post, and they are generally adorable and delightful.
Just like their inspiration,
Yes.
Francis, who's also delightful.
We were
All right.
trying to think of something really unique to offer people, and when we thought of a bobblehead and realized it was feasible to actually execute, it's just like, ah, for Francis, that's kind of perfect.
He's gonna go. I ordered my Francis and he's gonna go like somewhere probably on my shelf there, like maybe next to my Deku or I don't know. There will be Francis in the background.
And he will
Um
gaze at you pleadingly from there for all time.
Pay attention to me. Pay attention. Stop playing so many computer games. What are you doing? Um, all right, question for the sisters. I gotta ask, what was your biggest inspiration when it comes to the general tone of the series?
A combination of things. First and foremost, we like all of our stuff to be family friendly, so we knew it wasn't going to be super extreme gore fest jump scare town. Because I used to work on adult comedy shows and I hated it because when anyone asked, "What do you work on?" I told them it doesn't matter, don't worry about it. So we make sure that all of our stuff kind of meets the general audience threshold. So we knew everything would have to be kind of more implied and understated, which I think can improve things because you have to like think about it and let it set in. And then yeah.
Well, we saw Wendigoon review some analog horror stuff and saw kind of the tone of that of okay, it's like progressively underlying uneasiness that gets a little more horror-y. And when we thought about the format of Dora the Explorer, just it talks to you, the first idea we had was blocking the door with the chair and a character that's like telling a kid things that are creepy for a kid to be learning. And it kind of evolved from there into, you know, Jonah's frame story and all of that. But in general, it was just like, okay, weird instructions in a family friendly tone that gives this overarching uneasiness.
Yeah, we kind of reverse engineered a lot of the writing from the chair scene as sort of a essence of Angel Hair was just you get half of the conversation because that's the only part that's recorded and you have to put the rest together.
That's really interesting to think that. I mean, I think the chair scene is like one of the most important scenes, but it's really interesting to think that that's kind of th- the first scene that you had in your head, and everything else kind of came from that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think it did a good job of sort of setting the tone for the core of the show. And that's
I
really
think that
not
was episode 2.
hmm
So it was a nice early this is what you're in for.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, let's see. Do. I also want the cereal. Um, I threw my
It was
box.
limited time only, so
Yeah, my cereal expired a long time ago, and I didn't save it. I threw it out, and I should have. And I have no idea where the CD is. Question for Steph: is it jarring playing a character or playing a game where you played the main character? This one, not. It depends on what it is. This one, not really, because even though there are some similarities between Angel Gabby's voice and mine, they're different enough that I can kind of separate the two and sit back and kind of forget that I voiced it and just be like, "This is just Angel Gabby." Um, but I know there's another one, a visual novel that I was in called Royal Duality, and the character I play, Ira, is she has a voice that is a lot more similar to mine. Um, and when I'm listening to it, it's kind of jarring hearing something that sounds like me. And it was also one of my very first voice acting roles too, so the, acting wasn't really up to snuff. But I think, uh, too long didn't read, long story short, it kinda depends on how close that voice is to my normal voice and whether or not I can distance myself from it. Um, oh, interesting question. Does Gabby ever, is Gabby always on her tiptoes? Does Gabby ever
uh
stand flat-footed?
yes, she's a tiptoe person. It's part of her perky personality, which I think is a good part of her character design. Is just that she's very like wings up, ears up, light-toed, like she could just float off the ground. And I really love how Mac designed her that way, where just her
Mhm,
pose communicates a lot of her personality. Because some of you on the Discord have seen Proto Gabby's design that I drew myself, and she's horrible and stiff and haunting, and I'm very glad for this sweet tiptoe Gabby. I'm sure if she's like really tired and just rolls out of bed, she might be flat-footed, but as someone
mhm.
who walks on my tiptoes quite a bit, it can become quite the default. So I imagine it's just what she does and how she walks.
That's yeah, okay, well, you answer what my question was gonna be, would be, can she walk flat-footed? So, she can, just doesn't choose to.
Yes.
I was thinking, like, it would be like the Barbie movie with their feet, where she just goes, like, flat-footed, and everyone's like, "Oh!"
Imagine if she like winds up for a bigger bunny hop. She can go like all the way flat as part of it.
That makes sense. Yeah, get some more momentum going, get a little more spring in that step. Um, say, "Jonah, you need to vent," in Gabby's voice. Um, "Jonah, you need to vent." Coal is expensive. Heritage Railways are trying to look for alternatives. Angel Gabby versus Angel Steph. Steph is not an angel. Angel Gabby wins. Um, You look in the you look in the mirror and you are Angel Gabby all along. I wish. I would have so much fun if I were Angel Gabby. I'd be flying about all day, every day. Um, let's see. I think the first episode definitely set up the, oh, cartoon character is gonna candle cove it, but then it's subverted by the second episode, which is great. Yeah, like uh, Candle Cove did kind of come to mind a little bit when thinking about the show, but it didn't seem like an inspiration or like closely associated, but like it did come to mind when I was thinking of like, okay, this is a show that is obviously important to Jonah and Jonah's interacting with it, but his mom doesn't know. Like, what is she seeing? That's something I would always be really curious to know and find out and to think of is as Jonah's sitting there watching the television program, like where's his mom? Does his mom is his mom just not paying attention and not realizing that oh this is all right, I'm gonna make this a question for you, sisters. If hypothetically speaking, Jonah's mother was in the room while Jonah was watching Angel Gabby and Gabby was talking to Jonah, what would Jonah's mom see?
Well, what I will just say is remember in gosh, I don't know if it's episode 3 or 4, those two blend together. But in one of those episodes when she says nod once if he's going to be gone for a while, um I would apply that to some context clues and let that kind of inform you about,
Interesting.
other people in the
I
room.
also think the Easter special is also a little verbal on Jonah's side about like, okay, we had all this time to set up eggs. I must have been left alone for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So the
Um,
implication that I will neither confirm nor deny is that you're kind of confirming by leading directly to. One could
w
assume.
wait, say that again because I kinda you kinda got cut out at least in my headset. What did you say?
Yeah, one could assume, which I'm officially not officially saying,
There you
uh,
go.
that that she specifically waits until Jonah is alone to break character, because she needs only him to see. Yeah,
Okay.
which usually the only lore questions we'll answer are ones like that are already like somewhat spelled out in episodes if you put different things together. But if it's ever
Yeah.
like something vague or mysterious, or oh, how does this work, or how does Zaggy and Gabby know each other, or do they, or how do different shows work, we're not gonna confirm or deny anything. It takes away the fun of you thinking about it. Yeah. And there's some crazy theories we'll hear that if we just gave you the answers, you'd never come up with.
They answered the question because it was a stupid question. Stupid question, Steph. You just paid attention to the episodes, you would have noticed that
No, we just said it was like 2 hints spread across the season 1 and the special. That's it was
that's
a good
great.
question.
Well, you
Also,
heard it here, folks. It was a good
just
question and not a stupid one.
right quick on Candle Cove, I think it's impossible not to think about it just because that's like one of the earliest instances of, oh, what if there's a kids show that's like half remembered and like kind of only involved the children. Like it has a lot of similarities just because it's like, oh, something I only kind of reminiscently remember from my childhood. That was a show on TV. Uh,
Mhm.
but the rest is different. It's kind of like how a lot of different haunted video game stories are going to be similar. It's like, oh, are you talking about the cursed link thing? It's like, no, it's just it's also a video game that's haunted.
Mhm.
But I kind of dig Candle Cove, so I don't mind the comparison.
I love Candle Cove. It creeps me out. Um, let's see. I always feel like a flat-footed Gabby in the morning, but after I have my coffee, I become a tiptoe Gabby. That's me. That's me. That's me. Um, I'm well, I'm flat-footed all the time, but in terms of energy levels, I'm like a zombie until probably about 10:30. I don't even know how I get to work sometimes. I just gotta wake up from there and be like, "Oh, I somehow got in my car and drove to
That was
work."
me back when I had a 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a 9 to 5 and it's crazy. Yeah, I do keep my bunny ears hidden. Um, uh, Jonah, please don't bring up Candle Cove. I don't like to bring it up.
Man,
Not
you
once.
click into her well.
Huh?
You click into her so well. You guide
It's
her like
it's almost like
a
my customer service voice.
friend.
Angel Gabby is just as nanny. Angel 3 or episode 3 is when Gabby involves him in a conspiracy. That is true. You need to make up your alibi. Um, Gabby was reading from a book in a scene, which makes me curious. Gabby probably has Gabby probably has read to Jonah before, but has there been instances of like Jonah holding up books for Gabby to read to him?
Aw,
That would be
that's so
adorable.
sweet.
That would be so cute. Like, here, what does this say?
We know
Like
he's at least shown her his copy of Babe the
Gabe the
Gallant
pig.
Parrot. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is kind of where, like, we've told people that Angel Hair is going to festivals, and we might get into a pitch contract with it, like the West Patch is. Just, it'll actually be finished instead of like the West Patch just frozen forever. But part of what I think is especially exciting about pitching Angel Hair is there's so many things like that, like a kid holding a book up to his cartoon friend that, you know, the the potential for endearing, sweet interactions is not unlimited, but really, really expansive with stuff we didn't have the budget or resources for. And
Mhm.
I love how we told the story, but there's a lot of exciting things we have in mind to try and pitch people about how it could be expanded on, how it could be even more heartfelt, how the depth of the interactions could just go different places. So ideas like that are just exactly why we're kind of hopeful about it and just eager for it to be in a non-web space as much as I love what we did with it with what we had. Because just the concept of like so many horror movies and horror concepts have like the kid has an imaginary friend, but it's actually a ghost or a demon or something. But like, what if the kid has an imaginary friend and it's a ghost or demon or something, but it's just not evil? Like,
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Well, I love stories that are, that you would think they're going to be scary, but they turn out to be wholesome. Like I love story, not Casper, but like I love stories about like friendly ghosts who like, play pranks, play jokes, or like help people. I love stuff like that. And I really like the comments that have been on the show recently that I think other people like that too, that, you come into this kind of expecting there to be this horrible plot twist where she's secretly a demon or I don't maybe she is secretly a demon, I don't know. Um, but it just turns out like, no, that's not what this is.
I love
Um,
not giving you any plot details. It's so fun.
I know, it's fun. It's like it's frustrating, but fun at the same time because it's neat kind of experiencing it with the fans too when you air something and I'm like, "Oh, that's what that line was for. Okay." Um, and it's really funny though during directed sessions where they won't tell me what's happening and they're trying to make up analogies like, "Okay, well, imagine that you were uh I can't like stranded in a submarine and weird stuff."
So, like, talk as though it's going to echo, but also we're not telling you where you actually are that's echoey, but also, like, the claustrophobic feeling, we'd have to, like, try to build elaborate,
Yeah.
similar scenarios to not give away what's actually going on.
And at this point, they've just created a brand new cartoon. Imagine you're yeah, it's like improv, it's great. All right, does Angel Gabby like Halloween, and what does she do for it? Um,
I imagine there's not a lot that she doesn't like.
yeah. I feel like if she celebrates it, though, it's probably, like, the most low-key, wholesome, nicest Halloween where all the pumpkins are smiling, maybe. I
Mhm.
don't know, this is just what I'm imagining, it's not canon, but, uh
Yeah, I'm imagining just, like, staying home, having pumpkin pie together, Halloween, or like Francis said, "No, you need to dress up." So, like,
She dresses up as a rabbit and has an extra headband on it with those rabbit ears and stuff. Like, I think I
Oh,
got it. And he's just like, close enough. Okay.
yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. She probably gives out full-size candy bars too. I bet if she does trick-or-treating, she probably or like makes something homemade and delicious.
He
Not
has
giving
like
you like,
little baked good pastries, all especially wrapped and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like Gabby. Um, Stuff, what's on your shelf? Lots of stuff on my shelf. It's mostly just toys and books. Um, I have a lot of just like novels. I'm a big reader. And I also have some manga. I have all of Tokyo Ghoul and all of Bleach and a couple of Nana and Full Metal Alchemist, but it's mostly Tokyo Ghoul and Bleach. And then a bunch of figurines. They're mostly Tokyo Ghoul or Bleach or My Hero Academia. Although I do have one from Snowball from Rick and Morty. Because even though I'm not a really big Rick and Morty fan, I love that episode because I used to have a dog that looked just like Snowball. The little Maltese that takes over the world. um all right. Jonah would dress up as Gabby for Halloween. Probably. Did they have angel hair costumes back then? I'm assuming they probably did.
I'm not sure if the show was big enough. Like, I can see a local restaurant or local grocery store doing the cereal promotion, but I'm I'm not
Hmm.
sure of the broadcast. It would be a handmade one by his mom, obviously.
You're
Oh.
right. She would lovingly hand stitch
Oh.
it.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Oh, that is so heartfelt and wonderful. I like it. Um, who is he? I must know.
We won't say.
Oh no.
That falls into the lore questions that since it wasn't pointed to, we are not confirming or denying.
Because we love y'all's theories of like, what if it's a local bully? What if it's his older brother? What if it's his dad?
Truth. Truth. Um, all right. What would have Jonah turned out? How would have Jonah turned out if it was either Francis or Zaggy talking to him instead of Gabby?
Well, Francis, he would have probably turned out a lot like Francis. And we're still getting to know Zag technically, so I won't go into too much depth there. But I am picturing now, though, just, we're in this together, pal. Let's just hold down the fort and see how we can get through this.
Aw.
Oh no.
Uh, okay, I can try to say this in Spanish. As Gabby. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher this so horribly. Hola, mi nombre es Ángel Gaby. ¿Cuál es el tuyo? Hola, mi nombre es Ángel Gaby. ¿Cuál es el tuyo? Good. Tuyo. I'm not good at Spanish. I'm so sorry for butchering that so horribly.
Hey, he
Iron
asked if you could
Gabby.
try, and that's what you did.
What I do?
He asked if you could try, and you
I
tried, so.
tried. I tried so hard. Oh, this for Heretical Funhouse, I Lucas made up his own language, and he was having me read lines in this language, and it like oh god, that took me forever. It took me forever because he actually has ways to pronounce certain things. It's not just thrown together syllables, and I'm like, I can't do this. Um, Imagine a world where instead of a television, you're inside a radio, and that world is a reality in Angel Blair. Gabby dressing up as a pumpkin. Gabby cosplaying as a badger for Halloween. That would be a nice, cute little spin. What does Jonah's mom think of the shirt that says Gabby's got your alibi?
So there is a physical shirt in episode 5, and there is a shirt in our store that looks exactly like it and has alibi at the bottom of it. But if you will notice, in episode 5, the shirt is felled over, so you can't tell whether or not it has the second tagline. All it has visible is the top part that says Gabby's got your back. instead of also the bottom part that says "and your alibi." So you can't tell if we bought a sample from our own merch store and just hid the part that alludes to it being a TV web series. It just looks like it could be ordinary Gabby merch. So she probably thinks that it's just an Angel Hair fan shirt. And who knows when she would have got it for herself or Jonah and then stowed it away if she, like, once he moved out and whatever.
You're oh, the
Nailed
plot thickens,
it.
all the mysteries. That's cool. I'm really curious. I love this kind of behind the scenes stuff that, you occasionally reveal here and there. Um, fun fact, I don't know if anyone's ever seen I don't know if Doom's here. But there's a Google Doc that's been circulating with people kind of putting in lore and conspiracy theories and all that having to do with angel hair. And some folks actually there's a prop that Hannah and Rachel made that looks like the angel hair VHS copy, like the box. And the text on it, it's probably only in a shot for I don't know how many seconds, maybe not even like 5 seconds. But someone actually paused the video and took a picture of it and was deciphering the writing on the VHS box, which was pretty interesting and
Bad quality
complicated
photo.
too.
They were doing their very best to,
Yeah,
like, do whatever they could to clean it up.
yeah, because it was meant to look aged. Like there were parts of it where the texts weren't missing, and people were kind of doing this like Mad Libby type stuff, trying to fill in the blanks. It was pretty impressive. Um, Gabby would give a full pie for Halloween. Steph, you've got an older sister who is obsessed with Anime Shelf, and I can respect that. Thank you very much. This is my favorite room. Those are my favorite shelves. It's like my little hobby room, and I don't know. Um, I don't know, maybe you can see it or not. I have like tons. Someone was talking about pandas, red pandas, the other day, and I have like tons of like red panda stuff in my calendar. I actually have a physical calendar, because I'm old. And it
It's
helps
really
to it helps when I'm sitting at my desk to like glance over at my calendar as opposed to having to pull up an app or something. I completely screwed up my camera. I'm sorry. Um, what might Gabby think of Disney's Hunchback 96 if she saw it? Uh, I don't know. I don't know what she would think. She would probably be very sympathetic towards Quasimodo. And even though she's very even though she's a religious character in a religious show, I think she would not be siding with the church in that one. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, there are also reasons why Disney changed the original story so that Frollo was a judge instead of in the church, so that they could kind of skirt some of those
Oh, I
church's
forgot.
evil things.
I
Yeah,
forgot about
but
that. It's been like I read the book more recently than I watched that movie. So okay,
yeah.
he's a judge. It's not church. Okay.
Even then, they make a point to be like, he's a corrupt judge, so he's not doing what he's supposed to in general. And I think Gabby would probably agree with the themes of like, if someone's abusing their place of power, that's a bad thing, regardless of what place of power that is. So yeah, I think she'd be especially heartbroken for Quasi and just
I think
enjoy the
so.
well animated stuff.
Gabby is your like she typifies the neutral good alignment. Like she will bend the rules to do the right thing or what she considers to be the right thing. Uh so yeah, I could see that a lot. Um all right. Homemade costume by his mama, that's right. All right. I okay. Jonah, I found this nice game made by a dog. His name was Toby. I know it's a silly name for a dog, but I think you should try it sometime. I could watch you play it. It'd just be you and me and Francis. And then Francis goes, "Oh, I get to be a part of something." Aw, Francis. It was a amazingly decent Spanish impression. Thank you. You are welcome. And there's going to be, yes, a Gabby plushie. Gabby plushie. That's going to be going on my shelf too.
There's a what now? That's not.
That's in the
Probably
chat.
only.
I did not
No,
say that. I did not spill those beans. That's in the chat.
I think the chat was musing about things that haven't been publicly confirmed and that no one is allowed to leave this stream with.
You didn't make. I'm sorry. Y'all got me in trouble.
You got yourself in trouble.
I'm gonna have to bonk myself on the head.
There's nothing official. Please don't talk about the not official thing. It's totally just if I see anyone talking about
She's gonna
things,
fire me.
I'm going to pretend that
Fire
you're a
Steph.
crazy person and
we're
turn
gonna
right back
delete
on you.
messages in the Discord.
No,
Oh,
don't be
God.
sorry, crazy cat. There's been plenty of people who have just said, "Oh man, I want there to be a Gabby plushie." And that's like we're going to continue to say that as a cute hypothetical only.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
If you want to learn more
hypothetically,
about hypotheticals, you can join the Patreon.
hypothetically, if there's an Angel Gabby plushie ever, which there will never, ever, ever be an Angel Gabby plushie ever, but hypothetically, it would
That
go
would
on
be
the
such a
shelf.
logistical undertaking. Who would ever go through that trouble? There will never be one.
No.
But also, if you want to pretend that there is one, join our Patreon.
That is such a shameless plug. Um, uh, the stage musical Disney made is more like the book. So yeah, I don't think she'd side with the church in that version. That's interesting. I never saw the musical version of that too. That'd be a good musical. Let's see. Pretty much Secrets and Lies. Announcements. We fired Angel Gabby. Womp womp. Um, you know what they say? If you can't, if you can't, if you ant something, do it.
I think
Okay.
they meant if you want something, do it yourself.
Yes. Yes. Do it yourself. If you want something done right, do it yourself. Um, I could see Jonah holding an Angel Gabby plushie, and holding up to the TV and being like, "Her name is Mini Gabby."
Aw.
Oh, that is so sweet. All right, you guys have to say, "Angel Gabby, I forgive you."
I'm sorry, have to? We're just guests
That's
on this Q&A. We don't take requests.
Forgive her for what? Nothing's happened yet.
I'm gonna get recast. I'm gonna get banned.
That was a non-canon event. We don't acknowledge it. So there's nothing to forgive because nothing happened.
Nothing happened. No one
Nothing
said
happened.
anything. It was a quiet Q&A full of hypothetical questions about stained fur and favorite
No one even showed up.
No one was here.
This was all a
exist.
dream.
We are all a collective hallucination.
The sisters brandishing mallets. Nothing happened. I'm gonna get bonked. Stain fur. Okay. Well, I know we're coming up on like an hour and 45 minutes. Are there any other questions? That
Yeah.
went by so fast. It's like
Last call for the
last
Q&A.
call for questions.
I just I just want to say we've gotten 2 new patrons during this stream.
Serious?
And just in general, y'all have been so good to us. And it means the world because it really does just let us do so much more and compensate our voice actors more and share exciting things with you. And it's very humbling and we super appreciate it.
100%. I'm like infinitely grateful for everybody who really likes the show and supports it, and comes and hangs out with us, and it's been absolutely just surreal and delightful. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
And just thank you, Steph, because this whole Q&A Let's Play was your idea, and it's been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't streamed in probably like 3 months, and when I stream, it's usually just to give anybody a heads up who like just recently followed. I normally play horror games, like authentic horror games, like scary horror games, like
She's a
Phasmo
very
and
good Phasma
Labyrinthine
player.
and Mortuary Assistant and stuff. So fair warning, although I am pure of heart, the games that I play aren't. So sorry in advance. Um okay. Yeah, see ya, Graphite. I'll see you on the server. All right. Would Francis ever do a sin or like be protective of Gabby?
I think Francis is a really nice everyman because we all like make mistakes and uh to only be Christiany for a second because I am, but to try to avoid being preachy at all. It's just kind of in that theme that everybody sins and has faults. That's why there's like confession for Catholics or praying for forgiveness for other people. Like everyone has problems, and so does Francis. He's not perfect, and there couldn't be lessons of the day and examples if there wasn't that dirty little sinner Francis messing up all the time to be an example. So yeah, he obviously like stole from and lied to Gabby in an episode. So
Yeah, he
That
did.
kind of spells things out, doesn't
and
it?
I think he is
Mm.
protective of her because she does keep forgiving him and being a guiding example for him and just allowing him to be a flawed person and to like keep trying his best and trying to learn from things because he does have a genuine desire to improve and learn even if he is a naturally fidgety despairing character. Oh,
Oh,
despair.
despair.
That's his catchphrase. If we ever made a
Oh,
little like
despair.
voice box toy, which would be way too expensive, so we never will, that would be his thing. Is just oh despair.
Hmm. Oh, what is his line that's in I'm trying to think of what it is. Oh, fun. In the Easter episode. That's like one of my favorite Francis's lines because it's just the delivery is perfect.
We
Like,
can paint whatever we
ooh,
want.
fun.
Oh, fun.
Wanders off to make his Easter egg and then gets in trouble. Um, does Jonah have uh does Jonah have all the angel hair merchandise?
At least some we have evidence of. I don't know how much was around when he was a kid, but at least some.
Love you too. Um, my question's Lucky Lucas is shamed. Forgive me. Oh yeah, I'm really glad you were able to stop by, Charles. From South Carolina. Can you make a live dub of my fan-made video? I really had no other question aside from plot implications. I'm not really picking up any like ooh, this is like a tough subject. So I am really not picking up a lot of new work right now. Um, with the exception of like this stuff that I've already committed to because I'm doing still regular work for like Angel Hair and some other wink things. And I'm also at the same time, you know, trying to manage work. Like I work a full 9 to 5 job every single day. And I'm also doing a class at the same time. I'm learning UX UI design. So I have like no time right now to do anything. So with no not intending to disrespect any projects, but like I'm not picking up anything. It's just way too crazy. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to give my all because I'd constantly be stressed and rushed and stuff. And I don't like being stressed and rushed. I like giving people 100% all the time. Um, have I played I'm Scared? I have never heard of I'm Scared. Uh, is that like a what kind of game is I'm Scared? And I'll wait for your answer in the chat and I'll read it in a second. Um, Angel Gabby plays Phasmophobia, making new friends. Angel Gabby does play Phasmophobia. Angel Gabby though is really annoyed that they reset all the levels and all the money and all the equipment on Phasmophobia, that she has to like level up to get a strong flashlight anymore. So Angel Gabby's a little bit hurt by that.
It's
But
when
Angel
she
Gabby,
uses her stern voice that she uses on Francis.
what? Say again?
That's when she uses the stern voice like she does with Francis instead of getting like really mad. Is when she's
Yes.
talking about the Phasmo updates.
I have lots of feelings about the Phasmo updates. Forgive their trespasses, as many as are could. You could do this. Keep your head up. Thank you. Um, I'm scared it's like, oh, an 8-bit horror game. Is it older or is it made to be sort of nostalgic and old school? It's very meta. You gotta do stuff like read text files in a folder. It makes on your That's kind of creepy. I don't know if I like that. A game making folders and text files on my computer, and also messes with your computer a bit. No. No. I would not be cool with that. Gabby the critic, not outside of like the folder. Okay. As long as it's contained, I'm a little bit less afraid of it. A rabbit credit card. Rabbit credit card. Uh Angel Gabby has a fancy RGB keyboard and streamer setup. I still want to see this drawn someday. I want to see Angel Gabby wearing a gamer headset and like playing something that's completely aggravating like PUBG or like Overwatch or something, and just like getting really mad. That would be really funny to see.
Or like she has one of the extra wide curved monitors and all the equipment and the microphones, and she's just playing Minesweeper.
That would be really funny. Or like, yeah, Minesweeper or like Spider Solitaire or something.
In 4K.
That's actually me on some
Yeah.
days. Like my gaming PC is like it's pretty decent. But sometimes I'll just be bored out of my mind and be like, I don't feel like playing Diablo. I don't feel like playing Phasma, and I'll just be sitting there using an expensive computer to play like Bejeweled. It's horrible. Uh Gabby playing Minecraft with Jonah. That would be fun. Another game that messes a little with your PC is One Shot RPG Maker based. That's interesting because uh, I didn't realize that RPG Maker had that much like flexibility to do stuff like that. RPG Maker is very underrated, but I didn't realize it could do stuff like outside of the um like the traditional UI game, etc. A Hare credit card. Uh, How much of a disconnect is there between VHS copy Gabby and live Gabby, if there's any at all? Like, I'm wondering how much of Frances's interactions with her are genuine with the two versions of her. Um, I don't know. Do you guys want to take that one?
That is a very, very good lore question that we have no comment on.
Okay. Yes, this
Sorry,
isn't
whenever
an.
it's yeah, I apologize for any new people who have come in, but if it's specific to the lore and hasn't been defined by the show, we will tend to be very stubborn about it. So like things about production or the characters and that kind of stuff, or details about things that have been spelled out in the show, we are all about. Uh, but if it's like story related or the mechanics of how the like live sentience and stuff works, we're going to dodge the heck out of those because that takes all the fun out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not an AMA. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, I haven't seen you around in a long time. Hello. Um,
Ice
yeah,
Spear,
this
oh
is
my gosh.
I haven't seen Ice Bear in a long time.
Hello.
This isn't an AMA, this is an AMAA. Ask me almost anything. Um, it's like we're just like deflecting and just not answering certain questions. It's leaving it up to your imagination. Um, all right. Where am I? It's a nostalgia critic reference. Someone said Gabby the critic, and the first thing that my mind went to was saying a bat credit card. I had
Oh, the
never
famous
heard
nostalgia
of.
critic.
Was it?
Nostalgia Critic's a YouTuber, and that's one of his famous jokes, is making fun of one of the Tim Burton Batman movies for having a bad credit card in it.
Yeah, guys, full disclosure, I live under a rock. It is a very comfortable, very nice, cozy rock, but it's a rock. So sometimes I like don't hear these things until someone like puts them right in front of me. So now I know that nostalgia critic's a thing. So I'm gonna have to check that out. One shot is about a cute cat person, some big decisions, and a light bulb. It won't leave you with existentialism at all. And a light bulb. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, I had a question that's not plot or request voice related. Was Angel Gabby audition had voice actors before you participated, or was it just the first actor who participated and got the character? Um, not sure. Let me read this one more time. Not plot audition.
If you're
Or was
asking
it
if
just the
Stephanie
first
was
voice
our
actor?
first, like, if we went to her or if she just immediately got the part, there was a full casting call. I think you can still go to the casting page and hear the other auditions, and there were quite a few. Um, and it's in the link of the casting call that's still on our YouTube page, I think.
Mm,
Yes, and we always wait until the casting call fully finishes and listen to everybody and make notes on everybody. It's not like, oh, this is perfect. Let's go ahead and cast them right now. So she had to compete with everybody else that auditioned, and she's been around with us for many casting calls and auditions, and
hmm
mm, it's kind of stars aligned that she was perfect for the main character of this one. Oh yeah.
I've auditioned for like so many things before Angel Gabby. Like I remember when the way I first met Hannah and Rachel was with West Patch, and I auditioned for West Patch, and I didn't get a single part in the. I think I auditioned for like 4 different roles. And I was such a newbie at that point in time. I had just started voice acting, and I was like, I want to get into this. I want to get into this. I want to get into this so bad. And then I didn't get a part, and I was like, wah. But it's the thing about voice acting, and like I've learned this, and as you go along, you learn it. It's like rejection's part of the game. And I just thought, like, well, even though I didn't get cast, this is a really cool project that I completely believe in. And I had no idea at the time that they were just two people making this amazing series that could rival stuff on networks. I thought they were like a small like production company, and when I found out it was just them, I was so surprised. But um, I mean, I definitely feel very strongly that if you like something, go out there and support it. And that's what I did, and I supported it, and I auditioned for so many things, and I ended up getting Gabby, and it was just all wonderful and so worth the wait, and it's been a great experience ever since.
And eventually you're gonna be in space triage, and probably sooner than that you're gonna be in a secret upcoming thing that
The
patrons
secret
already
thing,
know about. Hint, hint.
the secret thing, which I didn't spoil, so you're welcome. Um, uh, I can draw Gabby playing Call of Duty. Oh, please do. That would be awesome. Yeah, it was kind of a Ice Bear. It was kind of like a last minute sort of thing. Like we advertised it, put it in the announcements on the server, but uh only like this afternoon. Um I imagine RPG Maker uses the same functions like how it makes save files, other files when you play a game. Instead of like .file or whatever, it's the funny files you open. Gotcha. Okay. I I just stand back amazed at like how some of this stuff works. So I'm gonna just be I don't know. Uh Gabby but living like Patrick Star. I'm still around. I just go by Sleepy on Discord. Not sure if you knew it was me or not. I don't know if I knew that or not. But noted now, Ice Bear is sleepy.
I get very easily confused when someone changes their name, so I apologize if I didn't recognize you, but I always find you a delight, so.
Hmm. Are the Mangan sisters canon in the show?
We are not.
Does
We're not, we're just the creators, and a lot of people say, like, this doesn't work good as an ARG, and it's like, we're not an ARG. We have full credits that, like, fully say, like, this is a fictional thing right there. I know ARG and analog horror are very similar and close to each other, but we've never claimed to be. ARGs are way higher effort and go over my head. I don't want to be one.
Like, we do fun stuff like the cereal box and, oh, we found this. But, if you ask, we'll tell you, yeah, it's a prop we had fun making and that kind of thing.
one second? It's just my mama.
That's right, I'll tell a story while you attend to it.
Please tell
Um,
your story while I answer my
with
mother's text.
with the West Patch, we wanted to try to be more immersive, and we were like, oh, with the West Patch email address, we'll put in like one of the characters' names as the like Gmail name when it asks you to make a name when you make the email address. And one person who replied to an email for like the casting call or something really early on, was like, hello, character name. Wanted to get in touch to ask questions about this. And like I immediately felt like I had tricked somebody, and it was just this like really weird, creepy feeling of like they just had a business question, and now I have to be like, oh no, I'm that's a fictional character. You can call me this. Sorry, it was for well, never mind. What was your sorry? Can I help you? And it was I was immediately like, this isn't the life I want for myself. I don't want all the super immersive. Don't even know who the real creators are. They go by whatever crap. Like no, I'm Hannah, and I am making a web show that you can be a fan of if you like. I just completely wrote off the hyper immersive life.
Y- y- when you first, I'm sorry, like collecting. Um, when I first saw this stuff with West Patch, like about uh like the meta story Julia Padilli,
Mhm.
I thought that was real for a little bit until I went to the website and then like, I forget how you have it phrased. You're like, and it's not real.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mhm.
I forget how you had it on the website. But like it was really well done. Really, really well done. And you had me fooled for a little bit too, but I am really happy that you kind of I didn't do too much digging. I think I actually did do a Google search looking for anything about Julia Padilli and found probably like someone's LinkedIn profile who's like an accountant in Florida or something, but I don't think yeah.
Yeah. We try to make sure that, like, as soon as you go barely below the surface, like, dust off the top layer of snow, it's all just like, "Hi, yeah, we're people making stuff. That's it. It's a story. You're fine." Because we want it to be fun, not, like, confusing or tricksy or anything.
I heard Fitz.
Yes, you heard
I heard
that.
Fitz. So
He is
if you've ever seen any of their they do plugging them too. Your Twitch is it the East Patch or is it just East Patch?
the East Patch. We're in the chat right now if you wanna
I'm
follow the link
sorry.
back.
Sorry, I just got completely derailed. And I'm just scatterbrained to begin with.
No,
Yeah,
you're
so if you follow them, and I highly recommend you do, they will do streams where they will animate. And sometimes Fitz makes an appearance on their chat. Fitz is
he
their
sure
little cat.
does.
Yeah, he's very vocal and he likes to steal post-it notes, which is absolutely endearing. Um, and you also have Ramses, and I always forget your third cat's name. Black?
Flack. It's
Yeah,
Flack. The
Black.
old
There we
man
go. There we go. Yeah, three cats. And Fitz and Ramses are also the names of the two cats that are in Crowing. So
Yeah,
little
a little bit of
trivia
a
there.
yeah, a little crowing lore if you go back and play that game.
Crowing lore. Yeah. All right, let's see. We'll probably be wrapping it up soon, but let me see what other questions we have here. Does Gabby gamer rage and quietly apologize to God under her breath for falling into a brief bit of wrath? If she's anything like me, probably. Sometimes I get so frustrated when I game. But it's never because someone messes up. It's always because someone is a troll, and I take it really, really personally. So there's no canon explanation unless you guys want to come up with a canon answer for that. But if she's like me, probably.
I feel like I can imagine her saying, "Lord, forgive me for what I'm about to do to this poor noob."
Yeah. Lord,
I
forgive me
picture
as I pwn this noob.
I like to think if she really rages, it's usually if she like does a personal failing, like mistimes a heal or something on her team, as opposed to like towards someone else.
Mhm. I could see Gabby being like playing World of Warcraft or something and like cursing under her breath because they always go out of range or out of line of sight and she's like, I can't heal you if you're not there. Um
Work with me.
work with me here. And they try to kick her and she's like, I can't heal you when you're like running ahead and you're behind a quarter. Like,
She starts turning it into lesson terminology like, "I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself."
exactly. Oh, this is my headcanon Angel Gabby. Wow, that's like very lucky karma because you did not just get you got one of your. Yeah, I do consider myself to be extremely lucky. Um, it's
Well,
like
you earned it. It's not really luck. You just,
well,
brought the nuance of the character.
everything's to some extent everything's luck. Everything's like being in the right place at the right time, and
Oh,
you
sure.
know,
But like,
had I recorded that audition in a slightly different manner, like the one I sent to you as a joke, I would have not gotten the part.
With super cartoony,
E-
upbeat. I'm Angel Gabby. What's your name?
Let's see. I don't know if I can do it without blowing out the mic. So it was kind of like, hello there. My name is Angel Gabby. What's yours? It's like, this is what you want, right?
Yeah.
so
So that,
Rita's like, okay, so don't call us, we'll call you.
yeah.
But yeah, we gave audition lines that if you follow the casting call link in the video on our YouTube page, you can still see all the casting info and listen to the other auditions. I think there were like nearly 100 for Gabby. Uh, but we tried to give a good range of like, here's one of her upbeat, caring lines. Here's one of her more seriously, I'll help you however I can lines. Like to try to just, with a couple sentences, show her full range so we knew what we were getting. And so many people were either like really fun with the cartoony bits, but then they couldn't make the grounded bits sound serious, or they were too serious throughout the whole thing and it didn't sound like sweet enough overall. And Steph just did the perfect marriage of the two, where it was a voice that could like nuance into both while still sounding like uh the same character. So instead of, oh, she's really upbeat and then she sounds kind of weird when she gets mad, or she sounds great when she's being like serious, wrathful angel, but it's a little weird when she goes to the happy go lucky place. Like she found this thing that could embrace all of it. And sorry, Rachel's trying to distract me.
I just hear Fitz chattering in the background.
We're trying, she's
Meow,
like,
meow,
she's
meow,
playing with
meow.
that because he'll whine if he doesn't. Yeah.
Give that boy some post-it notes.
We were hoping his evening nap would last the whole time, but yeah, now he's like tearing up our post-it notes, like, throw it for me, mother, throw it, please.
Stop it, please.
I will bring it back with haste. Hi, trees, I'm glad you made it. We're
Yeah,
back
hi
to
trees. Yeah. Oh, I'm really happy like you always come to my streams, and it always makes me so happy. Um, Forgot about this thanks to One Piece binging. Oh, that's a lot of binging. A Fitz can have fetchies. A Fitz can have a little fetchies as a treat. Yes, he can. Um,
He's gonna have a lot of fetchies, and it's not gonna be a treat for anybody but him, but I appreciate that.
oh wow, you up to 32. You've only got a couple thousand to go.
We're on like 70 ourselves, and I still
You'll
feel
well,
like we've barely done anything.
see, I want to like One Piece. I want to like One Piece. I want to watch One Piece, but one cannot I mean, coming from the girl that just watched all of Bleach in like a year, I can't make the commitment to watch however many thousands of episodes that is. But
Yeah.
also, just personal preference, I don't like the animation style, and it's really distracting to me. And
It
yeah,
took
I
us a
know
long time
it's what?
to get over it took us a long time to get over the aesthetic and give it a shot. It's a very traditional style, it's kinda rough. Well, it's just like it's dated, like, we can't say that. It's an older thing, and it's dated, and in a lot of ways it shows, and I personally find, Luffy's VA in the American dub, a little grating at times. Quite grating at times. You
Mhm.
get used to it and it's not that bad, and then they'll give a line that's just in that like and I have to
It's
step back
very
again.
I
It's
have no
very
idea.
Naruto-esque where you believe in his mission, but sometimes the
Believe
way
it.
he talks about it, it's just like, holy cow, kid.
Oh, goodness.
So I can totally understand if you haven't given it like the full "I'm gonna commit to thousands" shot yet. Yeah, we
I
took a
can't.
break after the first arc and haven't quite got back to it yet. I
I
don't mind
can't
the
deal with
style
it.
either, trees, and in fact, I love looking at older styles like that and seeing all the techniques and stuff they used. These days, I'm a nerd about it, so I enjoy it. But when I was a teenager, I was like, "This looks old. I don't want to see this."
It's not that it looks old. I just like because I love like Ranma One Half. I love Cowboy Bebop. I love like a lot of the older anime. It's just I don't know. It's just it's no critique, no criticism of the show. I'm sure it's a wonderful show. Maybe I'll
Totally.
watch the live action one. But like I just personal preference didn't like the animation style. I just
Yeah.
got distracted by it and couldn't get immersed in the story.
It does have a very uh unique design sense and like you're allowed to have your own preferences. You don't need to justify that. It's fine.
I would
Yeah.
also like to say hi, mom. My mom is in the chat. I don't think she doesn't have like a account, so she can't type in the chat. But my mom is watching. Hi, mom.
Hi, Steph's
Um,
mom. Your daughter's extremely talented and we love working with her and she's a great friend.
I pay them to say that. I pay them to be my cheerleaders.
I mean, you are a patron, so it's true.
That is kind of true. I pay you to be nice to me and be my friend.
Which frustrates me because whenever we pay you for work, I feel like I'm just leveling things back out.
It all comes around. What goes around comes around, and we just all share and support. So, all right.
Hey,
I think okay, so we went way longer than I thought we are gonna go. We're like at 2
yeah,
hours and 15 minutes. Um, so wait, I will take this last question from Ice Bear from Sleepy. Okay, I have a question if you're still taking any. This will be our last question. When you voice a character, how much do you have to really get into the role of a character to perform them? Lastly, is it a lot of fun? It depends on the character. There are a lot of characters I've played that are kind of just me with like a slight alteration, like a version of me and in real life, if you can tell, like I'm really sarcastic. I have a very dry sense of humor. I sometimes say things that are not good. Uh but if it's close to who I am as a person and it's just like a slight modification, that's a lot easier to do than if I was playing like there was a character I did in this show called Fluffy and her name was Tabitha and she was a sheep and she was always like very very nervous and anxious and like I really don't want to be the center of attention. Uh just like that and that was a lot harder because I am not the typical anxious nervous kind of person and there was a lot more physicality that came with that role too. A lot of just like using my body to get like a certain forced sort of shaky sound, so it varies, it depends. um oh, thank you. That was clean. um all right. Well, thank you all guys so very much for joining the Let's Play and thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, thanks Disney. Thanks for joining us and this was a lot of fun and I hope that you'll check out the game yourself. Hopefully you won't break it like I did because I was very viciously pushing the buttons. Um yeah, so thank you. Do you guys want to say anything?
Thank you to Steph for putting this together and for being phenomenal to work with.
Thank you to everyone who showed up and asked questions. I was nervous we were gonna get like 3 and be done in like 20 minutes. But this was just so much fun, and I cannot state enough how impossible it would be without all of you people. Like, just the work put into it and the time and the hours can't happen without like patrons to help us afford voice actors like
Mhm.
Steph and music and such, and comments. So we have questions for the letters videos. Like the fact that we're able to be choosy about which questions we put in them is so remarkable compared to season 1 when the first letters episode was
We're
Steph
Steph.
herself and one other person, and
Steph
that
asking
was
about
all we
demon hairs.
had.
Yeah, but thank all you guys for your support and for liking the show and for talking about it and sharing it and just sharing your, it's been nice even just getting to know you as people and hearing your personal stories and about your lives. And thank you for being so supportive and wonderful and being a great community. And thanks for coming to the Q&A and stuff because that would have been very awkward if we were like going back to season 1 letter segments where I'm like, "So, what's Gabby's favorite brand of soda?" Like, um anyway, but thank you guys so very much. And I hope you have a wonderful evening and the rest of your week and have a great weekend too and hopefully I'll see you around. So, have a good evening.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.